We're heading out onto the Great Barrier Reef, out to Beaver Reef. This is the shortest distance from the mainland to a coral reef. In this episode, we're travelling from here, Mission Beach, the Cassowary Coast. We're travelling right up the coast to the Atherton Tablelands, Cairns, Port Douglas, into the Daintree Rainforest. In this episode of Travel Oz, Reef to Rainforest. G'day, welcome. I'm Greg Granger. Ahead, sugar, chocolates and cassowaries on Mission Beach. Historic villages, farm life with a difference, and dazzling crystals on the Atherton Tablelands. Mountainside train trips and delightful distilleries around Cairns. And cutting the coconuts near Port Douglas as we head into the dense depths of the Daintree Rainforest. We're heading out of Mission Beach on the luxury 60-foot dive boat, the Reef Goddess. Owner and operator of Mission Beach Dive is Nancy Lowe. So Nancy, out to the reef. This is a short trip compared to elsewhere on the reef on mainland.
We are so lucky. It is only an hour and 20 out to the reef in beautiful Reef Goddess. So we'll be there shortly. A cup of coffee and a muffin and oh yeah, we're there.
So a lot of divers come here because of that short trip, and you've got some good experiences out there on the Beaver Reef.
Beaver Reef is where we're heading to today, and it is quite spectacular out there. We are truly lucky to have such a untouched, pristine area on the Great Barrier Reef, and I guess that's just because we're the only ones going out there, so we're pretty privileged.
Skipper today is Daryl Stratford. Daryl, so how is it to head out of Mission Beach out to the Great Barrier Reef? What sort of a trip is it?
Oh, it's a beautiful spot that we go to. We go to a place called Beaver Cay. Yeah. It's about 22 nautical miles, 45 kilometres, and we're out there for around about 4 hours. Hopefully we'll see turtles, hopefully we'll see the white-tip reef shark. Beautiful coral. The coral is in fantastic condition where we go to. It's protected by a green zone. It's been protected since 1972. The fish life are just phenomenal. The coral is fantastic. So it is a beautiful location.
There's a lush assortment of soft and hard corals to swim through. And if you're lucky enough to encounter a turtle, then it'll swim nonchalantly alongside you.
Look, I grew up here and I went to Beaver Reef as a kid, but to see it transform and regenerate over the years to what it is now is truly astounding. So there are a lot of great stories out there. This is one of them.
One encounter out on the reef that divers on other trips very occasionally experience is with dwarf Minke Whales. Now this experience is so exclusive, it's the only place in the world that you can do this, and it only happens for 2 months every year. Back on the Reef Goddess, Nancy Lowe explains the historical context of this part of the reef.
50 years ago, they wanted to mine Ellison Reef for the lime. And it was from Mission Beach that it was fought to protect that, thus creating the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park. So it's actually the birthplace of the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park.
Birthplace of the place that actually saved the reef.
Yeah.
An exciting entree to our journey back onto land that will eventually take us on to the Daintree Rainforest. We've come back to the mainland to a place that once housed an Aboriginal mission station back in 1914. A cyclone wiped that out only 4 years later, but the legacy is a sleepy settlement that's taken on the name of Mission Beach. For local tourism chief Patrick Blewett, this is the ideal place to live and to visit. So Patrick, Cassowary Coast, what sets it apart?
Oh, have a look for yourself, Craig. Another beautiful winter stay on the Cassowary Coast. It's just a brilliant, non-commercialised tourism and residential destination.
So it's almost a sleepy town. We're seeing plenty of water, lovely islands off the coast here, a lot of boats. It looks like a dreamy place to live.
Look, it is. People compare it to probably Byron Bay about 20, 25 years ago. It's an enclave halfway between Cairns and Townsville, but it is sleepy but energetic and exciting.
The Shire is known as the Cassowary Coast, and that's certainly what you're likely to see here, cassowaries.
If you're lucky, you'll see one a day. We've probably got a population of just over 200 cassowaries on the coast. As a local, you're on the roads a fair bit. Generally see one every couple of days. They're shy, they keep to themselves, but you've got to treat them with caution.
Cassowary Coast is the formal name, but as I drive through endless fields of sugarcane with a big chocolate factory to visit later, I reckon it should be renamed as the Sanctuary of Sweetness. Well, sugar plays such a big role here on the Cassowary Coast. You've got cane fields and cane trains crisscrossing the territory, ending up in this massive sugar mill. This is the Tully Sugar Mill, almost a century old. Those crisscrossing sugar trains are a rail network in their own right. For the 6-month cane harvesting season, you'll see them trundling all over the far north Queensland coast. And where they're heading to on this part of the coast is the Tully Sugar Mill, where we catch up with a real sweet tooth, Judy McLaren. Quite unique, the sugar mill.
Yes, it is. We are the only sugar mill in Australia that does tours.
First step is when the sugar trains deliver the freshly cut cane. So, Judy, the wagons are weighed, then the wagons are flipped over, and the sugar cane dumped out. The wagons are weighed again, which gives the weight of the sugar just dumped. Well, now we're watching the sugar cane just dumped go right up that conveyor belt.
Down to the shredder.
The sugar cane is then crushed and heated to remove any impurities, then passed through a series of evaporators to create a syrup which is converted to crystal sugar. It's all part of a 10-step process, with the sugar crystals separated from the syrup in a series of giant spinning centrifugals. So, Judy, here's the raw sugar, and when that's refined further, it becomes white sugar. But right now it's still very hot, very sweet. That tasty raw sugar is then shipped overseas, most of it to Indonesia and Korea, but some to New Zealand and the USA. Another sweet treat here on the Cassowary Coast is Charley's Chocolate Factory. They grow their own cacao beans here in a plantation that keeps their spokesperson, Veronica Ferguson, more than gainfully employed. So, Veronica, not too many places in Australia where they grow their own cacao beans, but you are right here.
Yes, absolutely. Here at Mission Beach, we love the industry that we're in, and we're very proud of it here in Australia. It's a new emerging industry. Very exciting stuff for Australia, that's for sure. We've got our own nursery. We grow the trees from seed and then graft the trees to get a quicker yield from them as well. We harvest actually every 3 to 4 weeks, so it's a continual season for us here at the farm. We've always got the flowers, unripe fruit and ripe fruit on the trees at all times.
Righto. Picking the cacao fruit. That will now be crushed and dried, roasted, all part of a 14-part process. So we've picked the cacao pod, cut it open. Look at that, we've got the seeds all the way down through that.
Yes. So
how many seeds roughly?
20 and 50, it depends on the size of the fruit. It can vary quite significantly depending on the size. But this one's a bit of a smaller pod, but we can see those seeds with the fruit around it there. Then we go into the second stage where we squash the pod open and then we ferment the beans down to get rid of that fruit, that mucilaginous fruit around the seed.
So you're fermenting, you're roasting, and then finally you're putting your beans back out here in the sun.
So they sun themselves for about 7 days.
Yes. The beans are then spun in these rotating drums known as conchas for the next 36 hours before the mixture is then poured and packaged. Veronica, you're offering the Tree Bar experience, one of the few places in the world that does that.
Absolutely. Here at Mission Beach, we offer the tree bar experience all the way from down the paddock with the trees, all the way here to what we've got here right in front of us today. We have a lovely Davidson's plum chocolate here, our signature collection, one of my personal favourites.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful native botanical ingredient that grows here locally and up on the Atherton Tablelands that we source.
And so, with a final taste test, we're heading north to the Atherton Tablelands. From the coast, we're driving the twisty, turny road up, almost 800 metres to the fertile breadbasket that is the Atherton Tablelands. We've reached the heady heights of the Atherton Tablelands, Crystal Caves, Old Mate's Farm and the historic Herberton Village. The historic village at Herberton is a former tin mining town frozen in time. A series of museums in an outdoor pioneer museum town, all brought to life and carefully restored by Craig Kimberley and his wife Connie. Craig, Herberton Village, you've captured the essence of historic Australia.
Well, we love to think we have. It's an ongoing movement all the time, but Connie and I have been here now 15 years and we're basically restoring what was an old village, and it's all about how you lived 100 years ago, and we're trying to give life to people that come into the place to see how it used to be, with no mobile phones, no television, and all pre-war. What we're trying to achieve is to show how people used to live over 100 years ago. Herberton was founded in 1880 through the tin mining, and it just exploded since then. And now it's a town of 1,000 people, and we've got this beautiful village with buildings brought from all over far north Queensland, and 90% of our buildings are authentic buildings.
It's not just the historic buildings, it's what's inside. Take the toy shop. It's a collection of dolls among the big assortment of childhood memories. Or these vintage cars. This 1933 Continental Flyer has been lovingly restored by the museum's mechanics for the past 10 years. It's in the coach house that Craig shows me how coffins used to be loaded onto the horse-driven hearses of the day. Then it's onto a common co-coach. You'd swear those horses are about to gallop ahead as Craig manhandles the reins. So much action here in the Herberton Historic Village. Take this 1945 Dennis fire truck that's driven out of the shed every day. Back in 1949, it pumped seawater onto a fire in the Townsville Sugar Terminal for 2 weeks. Among the many live shows, there's the blacksmithing demonstration with ex-teacher Darryl Cooper at the anvil.
Well, I like doing things out of scrap metal. There's something satisfying about finding a bit of scrap steel like this old bolt and making something creative out of it, yes, as well as doing the traditional blacksmithing as well. A lot of people say, oh, as soon as they see me, they say, oh, that's a dying art. Well, we're keeping it alive here. We're making those things that were made back in the day, the horseshoes and the tools and things like that, as well as the creative stuff.
One last treat at Herberton Historic Village, a bush campfire, cooking a bush dinner with a man from the bush known as Bushy. So what are you doing here today, Bushy?
Oh, we're just serving stews and damper and billy teas to the public. That's what we do, yeah. All cooked on the fire, all cooked in the camp ovens.
Oh, Bushy, I'm going to try some of this damper fresh out of the oven.
Just like the old fellas would have cooked it. Water and flour.
Water and flour. That's a crunchy crust.
That's it.
So, Bushy, an amazing place here, Herberton Village. So what do you think the village is trying to impart to people?
Oh, it's just bringing back memories for people to see, you know. It's restoring the old stuff. Just preserving it as best they can to show what it used to be like yesteryear.
It's farewell to the historic village at Herberton as we head further northeast on the Atherton Tablelands. One place I've visited before is the dazzling Crystal Caves in Atherton, where I met the man whose vision this was, Rene Boissebane. Rene, how impressive. You have built your own cave system.
Yes, it was like a dream. You know, I want to continue the dream by creating a fairy tale adventure and the reality of beautiful specimens.
Today I'm meeting with his daughter, Giz, who's taken over the dream. Giz, Crystal Cave's all about crystals.
Yes, that's right. Crystals, fossils, gemstones and crystallised mineral specimens. So this is a rose quartz egg. It's from Brazil. I've only just got it. We're very fond of it. And it's quite typical of some of the things that you can see in the museum.
Giz, what on earth is this beauty?
This is an amethyst geode. It's from Uruguay and formed completely naturally. So everything you see inside is completely natural.
Shimmers and glistens and...
Yep, that's crystals. Yeah.
All one man's vision, Crystal Caves, your dad.
Yeah, that's right. Renee started collecting crystals in the early 60s when he found a big agate nodule at Agate Creek right here in North Queensland, and he just became obsessed.
Yes, so what you've created are a series of caves throughout this building.
Yep. There's about 5 chambers, tunnels and grottos. Some that you can crawl through, some that you do have to bend down to get through.
And some massive stalactites.
Stalactites and stalagmites, just like a real cave, yeah.
And all these fossils.
Yeah, so this is a trilobite from the Sahara Desert. So what is now desert used to be ocean. About 120 million years old.
Next on the Crystal Caves experience is an enormous sparkling geode. Very, very impressive here.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, it's a massive, massive amethyst geode. From Uruguay. We acquired it about 12 years ago, and at the time it was the biggest geode they had ever found.
So this would be a major coup for Reno getting this here.
Absolutely. He had to have it. Yeah, there was no doubt.
Massive cost in getting it to Australia, massive issues in actually installing it.
Yeah, we had to take the roof off to get it in with a crane. We've moved it a couple of times in the meantime because I wasn't quite happy with the positioning of it. And it sits in a rose quartz fountain.
Time then for the ultimate hands-on experience here, cracking a geode. And the climax, these massive geodes.
Yes, so they come from the state of Chihuahua in Mexico.
Yeah.
And they're essentially little bubbles that are trapped in lava that have then crystallised over a period of about 40 million years.
So what you offer customers is the ability to crack these open?
Yeah, it's like nature's lucky dip. So you buy it like this, nice solid little egg, or in your case, a nice solid big egg.
Yes.
And then we crack it open and hope that there's something awesome inside.
Time to get cracking. Bit of tension, bit of pressure. My goodness. What have we got?
Right.
What have we got?
All right, you better open him up. Oh, amethyst.
Look at that, eh? What a gem. What a treat, what a treasure. From the crystal treasures, we move on to one more experience on the Atherton Tablelands. The legendary kids' nursery rhyme goes, Old MacDonald had a farm. Well, that's inspired this property, Old Mate's Farm, because on this farm there's lots of animals and they all need feeding. Tony Freeman invites visitors to his Old Mate's Farm to do just that, handle and feed as many farmyard animals as they like. Those same visitors might see Tony behind the wheel of a vintage lorry. So Tony, let's start with your vehicles. What is this? It's 1948 Morris.
Yes, LC3, the same that was used in the Babe movie.
Tony, you've got another Morris here, a 1928 Morris.
Yes, a Morris sedan. So we've made that into Dr. Livingston's car. So yes, it's themed out as a lot of them are on the property.
Beautifully restored. Tony's also built a superb collection of sulkies. And now the building's a post office.
Yes, well, we figured that you can't have a small town without a post office. So we decided to create our own Deep Creek post office, and it's very important that the kids can post their letters to Santa and let them know what they want for Christmas.
Some of the huts.
We've got the Stockman's hut and also Old Mate's hut here. So when Old Mate goes away, other people can come and stay in his hut.
Right behind us here, the Deep Creek Hotel.
I mean, everybody needs a watering hole, so this is the spot.
Plenty of trails to walk and ride your bike.
We've got 160 acres here of tracks and trails for horses and walking and bikes, and Yes, our guests enjoy these trails immensely, and these people use this as a base here to go to the Atherton mountain bike trails as well as our own trails that we have on the property.
And then there's the loo with a view. Evenings, it's time to settle down around the fire pit. A time to relax and contemplate life in the wilderness here at Old Mate's Farm. Well, we've travelled on to Cairns, the capital of tropical North Queensland, a place I was born actually, a place that has certainly grown since my arrival. Among the profusion of new businesses here in Cairns, a series of wine bars owned and operated by these two partners, Darren Barber and Sam Kennis. So what was the attraction apart from the business? What brought you here?
Darren. Nah. Again, beautiful lifestyle, the outdoors. It's beautiful just to be able to get outdoors all year round, head up the mountain and head out to the reef for the day. And beautiful.
And the weather. This is winter.
Yeah, perfect.
Among my own favourites around Cairns, the new cable car up to Kuranda. The scenic railway that you can travel alongside and watch it cross a visually spectacular trestle bridge. And the mighty Barron Falls gushing furiously after heavy tropical rains. Quite something that you two have been able to put your resources together, create, get these bars happening, but get the distillery happening.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we moved up for the lifestyle, I guess, and then created the businesses, and that allowed us to enjoy Cairns a bit more, I guess.
Down on Wolf Lane, Darren and Sam are keen to show off their new distillery. So Darren, your ingredients all locally grown?
Yeah, we get as many locally grown ingredients as we possibly can, and one of the beautiful things about far north Queensland is our accessibility to some amazing botanicals and fresh fruits, which we have in our gins and our liqueurs as well. One of our main ingredients in a lot of our products is red ruby grapefruit, which we get from the Tablelands, locally grown up here.
Coffee's locally grown?
Yep, so this is single origin Australian grown coffee from Jark's Coffee up in the Tablelands, so it's one of the only coffees that is grown in Australia. Then we go on to some finger limes. So finger limes are an Australian native fruit to far north Queensland. A really unique lime. They've got these beautiful little caviar beads inside of them, and they go into our tropical and our navy strength gin.
Right, Greg, we're going to kick you off today with our tropical gin. Starting there with some mango, grapefruit, finger lime, lavender and mint, all nice and subtle flavours. So give that one a taste and see what do you think of that one.
What do I think of this one?
Yeah.
Got a nice kick.
Perfect.
Not only are they gin producers, they've got a highly creative team backing them. So you've got Wolf Artwork, you've got a full-time artist, haven't you?
Yeah, we do. So he designs everything that you can see around the building where we are here today, and for all the menus and everything in each other venue.
So great theme, named after a wolf.
We're the Wolf Pack, so may as well go with it.
We're driving north of Cairns now, on one of the world's most beautiful drives. It's running right alongside the ocean. On the right side, out east, there's the Great Barrier Reef. And to the east, the rainforests. Plenty of opportunity to stop and take it all in. Ahead, an awesome nature reserve. Well, one of the features of that beautiful drive up from Cairns towards Port Douglas just here is this headland. Now, on that headland, a resort, the Tala Beach Nature Reserve. Plenty of wildlife and views, spectacular views, and there's 75 bungalows out towards the Great Barrier Reef. Those bungalows are nestled in the midst of the rainforest, with a grand entrance to their main lodge leading me ever upwards to Ospreys, Tala's eatery with a magnificent view. There to greet me is front office manager Astrid Kuistra-Vink. Astrid, that is some position you got here at Thala. You're on a headland, water almost surrounding you here, rainforest.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty special place.
We're pretty lucky up here. We definitely are, yes.
Now, these birds have gathered right in front of us here this morning.
Yeah, metallic starlings and rainbow lorikeets. We keep track of the birds we see here, and we're at 200 species at the moment, so
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got 75 rooms. They're all individual bungalows. And we're on 145 acres, so they're scattered all around the property.
And so good views from most of them.
Definitely. We've got different room types, so they're depending on the level of elevation and the view from the room. And we've got a few suites as well. They're a bit larger.
Impressive fare here as well, with Ray Andrews introducing me to some exotic dishes. So you're the restaurant manager?
I am.
The whole food scene's pretty big here.
Yeah, it really is, and we're really lucky with Chef Graham, who came on board 6 months ago.
Yes.
I mean, we've just got to compete with this view, so the food we put on the plate, it's got to be fantastic. Now, I think it's a privilege to be here. It really is. It's a stunning place to work, and it's a beautiful family to work for as well.
Yeah. And so you brought up your kids here, just north of here?
Kids are born. I bought a house here sort of a decade ago. It really is living the dream. It's the lifestyle. I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel, but it's a lazy good existence up here.
One of Tala's culinary offerings are coconuts grown right here on the property, with Rodney Dockrill demonstrating how to dehusk them. Off you go. Whoa. Now that's a very quick operation. So you've gone through this process.
Yes.
Now it's time to drink this,
Yes.
this pure coconut milk.
Yep. So I'll crack it open.
Yep.
We're going to crack the bottom of the coconut.
Yep.
So we'll go from here.
Okay, that's an art. Yep.
And you get a bit better way of drinking it, otherwise the top part's harder to drink.
Off that goes.
There's your hat.
Yep.
And there you go.
And can I have a sip?
You certainly can.
Off with the cap and... Oh, that's pretty damn
nice.
That sweet coconut juice is an entree to a late afternoon treat up at Tala's Curlew's Lodge. Prawns and oysters served up at sunset in an offering known as Sunday Sundowners. Next stop, Port Douglas, a yachty's mecca with some very fancy places to stay. It's all happening here at Port Douglas Marina. Visitors heading out on a sunset cruise, others taking in a waterside drink. The biggest resort here is the Sheraton Mirage, where General Manager Steve Molnar has just won a top tourism award.
Well, I won the Travel and Leisure Award for Travel Magazine. That was Australian General Manager of the Year. Very proud of that moment. It was awarded just a couple of months ago.
So what have you got to do to achieve that?
Well, I suppose work very hard, be liked by your team, be a good leader and have a successful hotel with great owners.
So we've gone through some pretty onerous times, COVID restrictions and so forth, but you've come out of it. The hotel industry is coming out of it.
Yes, it is. I've got to say though, Port Douglas up here, and especially working at the Sheraton, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world. We kind of missed some of the heartache. We did it tough, but not as tough as many other places.
A lot of water here. You've got a lot of recreation in this hotel.
Yeah, there's about 2 hectares of water surrounding us here, 9 pools with the swim-up pool bar, which you might see in the background just over there. But a lot of that stuff's also channeled in from the ocean, so we harvest salt water from the sea, and then that's chlorinated from there, so it's quite sustainable.
Well, the final leg now on our Reef to Rainforest special. This is the Daintree River. We're going to cross that on this ferry over to the Daintree Rainforest, which is Australia's version of the Amazon. We're going to the Daintree Discovery Centre. What I find amazing is that the ancient self-sustaining forests of the Daintree are actually around 180 million years old, 10 million years older than the Amazon. Named after the 19th century geologist and photographer Richard Daintree, the Daintree has a place where you can take in the magnificence of the rainforest, with treetop height aerial walkways and canopy towers. Welcome to the Daintree Discovery Centre, where our guide is Peter Eldred.
So Peter, the Daintree Rainforest, lush.
Yes, it's incredible, absolutely incredible. You know, we're in, one of the oldest surviving lowland rainforest on the planet, and we're fully immersed.
So how many species of plants would you have in this rainforest?
You're looking at around 4,500 different species.
Wow.
And I think about 700 species are endemic to the Daintree, so found nowhere else on the planet.
And not only that, we're on the Cassowary walk now, so you saw a cassowary and baby chick yesterday.
Yeah, so we've been having a big adult female move through, and now the juvenile is just on his own. So the father, cassowary, actually takes all parental care of the chicks.
Peter, you were telling me all the wildlife you've seen in recent days. You've seen pigs, you've seen dingoes, you've seen tree kangaroo.
Yeah, tree kangaroo. We get pythons through here. That's the beauty about this place. You never know what to expect.
Let's climb even higher, up to the canopy tower.
And Peter, we've reached the top of the tower.
Absolutely incredible.
What sort of height have we got here?
We're at 23 metres here.
Yeah.
This brings us right to the top of the oldest surviving rainforest on the planet. The diversity that actually surrounds us here is really quite phenomenal. Very, very unique and ancient, landscape here.
And so the rainforest is everywhere, beside us, below us, even above us.
Yeah. It's absolutely fantastic. The access that we can provide here is just out of this world.
This is an experience that's certainly going down well with foreign visitors.
It's pretty impressive, knowing that this is the oldest rainforest in the world.
We're just waiting for cassowaries to show up, but they're nowhere to be found.
Yeah, especially, in Europe, we don't have such a rainforest, so it's amazing, to see it here.
Then there's a brand new rainforest attraction.
Well, we're going walkabout now on the new hologram screening.
It's a special 3D hologram theatre, an immersive walkabout through Australia's oldest culture, experiencing the local Indigenous people, the Kuku Yalanji. Next, Peter shows me the powerful effects of a strangler fig.
Magnificent strangler fig has strangled the host tree.
Absolutely, yeah. So this particular specimen we believe is around 550 to 600 years old. It's basically a freestanding fig now. It's the host tree which the strangler fig is engulfed, has completely eroded, leaving this incredible structure.
And finally, dinosaurs. Well, at least animatronic versions.
So who on earth have we got here?
This is the Australopithecus.
And is all part of the exhibit you've got here through the Jurassic Rainforest?
Yeah, the Jurassic Forest walk at the Discovery Centre here, yeah.
And the idea being you're showing the ancient creatures in the ancient rainforest.
Yeah, that's the thing. This forest was here, millions of years before the dinosaurs. Some of the plants, they're the green dinosaurs, 300 to 400 million years in their line.
Well, best take extra care when one dinosaur swings into me unexpectedly.
He's a mover.
And so ends our time exploring two of the world's most ancient natural wonders, the Great Barrier Reef and the Daintree Rainforest.